My sister-in-law demanded we pay for her lavish vacation with us, but when I refused, my wife promised her we will pay for it anyway. Twice a year, my wife, 3 kids, and I go on a trip with just us. During spring break, it is a domestic trip. During summer, it is an international trip. These 2 trips are my favorite things we do throughout the year. We live very frugally throughout the year, but during these trips, we do it big. The money for the trips comes from separate, non-marital passive income I have from a family commercial real estate business. In case anyone is wondering, we have a prenup. After our trip last summer, my sister-in-law, wife's sister, told my wife that her husband and she are going to save up and come on next year's trips, i.e., the 2025 trips, with their 2 kids. My wife did not push back. I heard about this a couple of months later and was quite frustrated. I do not like my sister-in-law at all. It is a long story. My wife convinced me to be okay with it by laying out that they will get their own accommodations and outside some shared meals. I did not need to spend much time with her. Well, in January, my brother-in-law's job issued a return to the office directive. He was working remotely and lived out of the state of his office. They offered a short window for anyone who did not want to return to resign and get a good severance package. He resigned and took the severance. After that happened, they decided they could not come on the trip. There is a chance they will need to sell their house and move in with my in-laws. Well, about 2 weeks ago, my mother-in-law, wife, and sister-in-law were spending the day together. My sister-in-law kept bringing up how upset she was about the whole thing and about how much she was looking forward to the trip. My mother-in-law pulled my wife aside and said, "I know you all can pay for the trip. Just pay for it." So, my wife offered for us to pay for it. After my wife told me this, I was livid. I said, "You want me to pay for the terrible experience of doing this trip with your sister?" "No, I will not do it under any circumstances. This is a 2 yes and 1 no situation. I am a no, so she is not coming. My wife thinks I should take one for the team and pay. I refuse. I do feel bad for her kids, but I am not paying for the displeasure of being around my sister-in-law. Heck, I've offered to take her kids only on the trip. I would be fine with that. They can stay with us. But, right now, I am left with either effectively doubling the cost of the trip or having them stay with us on the trip, which is counter to why I agreed to let her come in the first place. Am I the butthole?